Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the sick twisted minds at Sacrificial Pond Productions brings you a new style horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, there's Jason's mask.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have two awesome guests, Greg and John. Met them on Instagram. These guys are great, so you guys want to introduce yourselves? What's up?
What's up? My name's Greg. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Me and my business partner John here, we own Nightmare Shop LLC, which is kind of we buy, sell, and trade horror merchandise, and anything from comics to movies to action figures. So
Man, yeah, we try to do it all, and we try to be your one-stop nightmare shop, if you will. And pleasure to be here today with Sir Sturdy and to chop it up a little bit about one of our favorites.
Oh, man. Thank you guys for coming on. And I'm just going to jump right into it. So this question's for the both of you. Who or what got you into horror, and what movie scared you as a kid?
You want to go first?
yeah, so
Cool.
for me, it was my mom and my older sister got me into horror. My mom was always into the Poltergeist, Amityville type movies, and then my sister got me into creature features, stuff like Lost Boys and stuff like that. So I actually had a heavy female influence, which is interesting because if you watch most horror movies, the female role is pretty vital. So
Yeah,
Uh-oh, it froze.
definitely.
Hang on 1 second, guys. It keeps breaking up. Let me pause this.
You're
You're
good.
good. No problem.
All right. We're good.
Cool. For me, it was my mom as well. The TV was kind of the babysitter in my house, and got filled with a lot of horror movies, a lot of Nightmare on Elm Streets, a lot of Friday the 13th, a lot of Halloweens, a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacres. But the one that stood out when I was a kid, that really was like, holy shit, I need to watch these all, and I need to take some time and really listen to what's going on in them. It was Jason Takes Manhattan, and particularly when they're on the cruise ship before they land on Manhattan, when he rocks that chick in the face with a guitar. I remember being 4 years old, being like, "Mom, did you see that?"
He's not even in Manhattan yet. He's fucking people
He's
up.
taking over the river. It was really cool. So definitely the classics like that, and my mom.
That's awesome right there. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like with the Jason Takes Manhattan, it's not one of my favorites. I did like a countdown. Me and a couple of my friends did a countdown of the Friday the 13th. but it's one that really stands out because, I mean, as you guys know, the USA Network Friday the 13th, that whole weekend, that was like one of the ones they showed about 18 times was Jason Takes
Oh yeah.
Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's something about all of a sudden, you don't have to be out in the woods for Jason to come get you. All of a sudden you're no longer safe in the city.
Yeah, definitely. Which is very similar to Predator 2 and how city infused that is. And I grew up in South City, St. Louis. So, like, when they're coming from where they were originated, the jungle or wherever, and they're coming to the city, I was pissing my pants. I didn't go camping. I didn't go to Crystal Lakes. I wasn't even drinking Crystal Lake water, straight from the tap.
I still don't go to Crystal Lake. As a grown man, just, I'm grown, but I'm like, I don't want to take that risk. Like with another one I'll say is Jaws.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I'm black and I can swim, but I'm terrified of the ocean. And I'm terrified of sharks. I don't mess with either of that.
Man, Jaws scared me so bad I got him tattooed on me, so I feel you there, man.
But it was an awesome movie.
It was scary. It's still scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still lives up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the gore, the effects, the way that Spielberg, it's all about angles in that movie, and that movie still lives up. I mean, you can watch Jaws and be just as scared as Jaws as, if you were watching 47 meters down or something like that.
I agree. That was a cool movie too.
Yeah.
You know what it is? See, I didn't see that one yet. I got to check that out. But with Jaws, in my opinion, like no other shark movie has came close to touching that as far as a great movie. All around a great movie. And like the shark looked great when they did show him. Now it's too much CGI crap.
Yeah,
absolutely. The CGI kind of takes away, especially with like ocean movies. CGI takes away too much. Spielberg nailed it with Bruce.
It's so good when you see the shark in Jaws because it's not exactly how the shark looks like a CGI is. It's kind of like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? Is that a great white? Is it some sort of mutant shark? You don't really fucking know until he's eating all the passengers in the boat.
Yeah.
I would agree. Spielberg always does, and at that point, we were, he just got done with Close Encounters and stuff like that. Right. So like, you don't know what you're in for.
Right.
So we can jump into this movie if you guys want to.
Heck yeah.
Like I said, it's a freestyle. Like I told you guys before, you don't have to start from the beginning, middle, or the end. Cool. Just, what'd you guys think about it? What'd you think about this movie?
As far as sequels go, I really enjoy Predator 2. I mean, I think that you're obviously not going to live up to this, macho character like Dutch from the first one, but Danny Glover's great, and he definitely has this. You have this sense of accomplishment. He's a Lieutenant Harrigan. So I don't know. I think that. As different as it is, I think it lives up to the first Predator.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from something so successful with people like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was Mr. Universe at the time, and you got Jesse Ventura in there. To come back with none of your original cast and to make this entertaining of a movie and to completely change your setting, like the Predator itself in camouflage looked very different against steel, concrete, and cars than it did against like leaves and trees and bushes and stuff. So to take that into account, and like I said, I'm a city boy born and raised, it scared me. Like there were people getting chased by cops down in Chippewa and everything like that. So like, sometimes they didn't get them. So it's like, was that a predator?
Well, I thought it was interesting too because Predator in this movie, like it doesn't matter, in the first one, even though you're pulling for Dutch, Dutch and his crew, they weren't good people.
Right. And rhymed a lot with arrogant, and that's how I played the character. And he was a very strong, powerful male lead. Yeah. That was very different from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could understand what he was. Well, so what's really cool about Predator 2 also is the whole mafia gang of Jamaicans in it.
The Jamaicans and Colombians.
That are running the show that disappearing and the whole mystery effect behind that. They don't know that this fucking predator is coming and slaying these dudes at night.
I think it's also a shout out to Predators, and how much he resembles like a Jamaican or this Haitian with his dreadlocks and stuff like that. They kind of give him that look.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that even a guy like Kevin Peter Hall, who portrayed Predator, he did a good job of kind of giving Predator that like Haitian or Jamaican vibe, but at the same time, he overtowers these people. So
he's so big.
Introduces brutality to that too.
Yeah,
so.
he was the Predator in the first two, right?
Yes, yeah. And I think he died at a fairly young age, but yeah, he was Predator in Predator 1 and Predator 2. So
yeah, it was a great sequel, and it's hard to do a horror sequel, especially today with stuff like the CGI and the over-the-top gore that is there, and it's really cool to look at, but it's not necessarily needed at certain points. This movie had it right.
Well, I think the acting in this movie was a little better too, with Danny Glover and Gary Busey,
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, the king of sequels, Bill Paxton. But I feel like the character that I least liked was Gary Busey's character, Peter.
I completely agree. He should have died first.
Oh man.
He's hard to take sometimes,
yeah.
Man. Like, he got so into that character that they said behind the cameras when the film wasn't rolling that he would stay in character and talk to people as if like they needed to go catch a predator, not film this damn movie.
Holy
so
shit.
To imagine what he was like on set, like put yourself through less trauma and just kill him off.
Yeah. No, he and then at the end you're almost you're almost pulling for him because he kind of bails Danny Glover out of the meat locker. But at the same time, when he gets sawed in half, which could have been the best kill of the movie, but when he gets sawed in half and there's just like buckets of blood dumping on the floor, that was pretty cool effect.
That was fucking awesome.
I guess so. So he had it coming.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was just a sweet build up to like, all right.
You know what it is with Gary Gary Busey? I think it's his face that nobody likes. 'Cause, like I said, this is my first time watching this movie. So when I see him in this movie, I see him as how he looks like now. I'm just like, fuck, kill him. Get rid of him.
He's a mongrel. He's got teeth like 50 Cent.
Oh, man.
You can build a dam quick. They need him in dairy.
They definitely need him in dairy.
Oh, man.
No, I don't know. He always kind of plays those sleazeball characters because even in like what he did in Point Break, he's this like cop that wears a Hawaiian shirt and munches down hot dogs all day. It's just like, what is this guy doing in his life?
Oh, my God.
And same with Black Sheep.
He's just living in a fucking middle of the woods.
You never know what he's
We were talking about with Bill Paxton earlier before we all hooked up. He's one of those dudes who like is in so many different roles but plays such a similar character and nails it every time. It's similar, but he puts this unique tweak. Like you could tell he was kind of bashful in Predator 2, whereas in like Aliens, he was freaking out. He was the one that was worried. It's bug hunt, man.
Elevator to hell.
Right. But in this one, he was, he wanted to be a part of it, but he was kind of fresh on it. And Danny Glover had to check him real early. And I'll only say this speech once, and it's the only one I have. It's cool how successful he was in certain roles like that. Like you said, he's king of the fucking sequel.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the small roles he had, like in Terminator 1, where he's just like this punk rocker.
Yeah.
It's just like, laundry day, nothing clean, right? He has these lines, like if you grew up watching any kind of, Bill Paxton movie, like you still have his lines in your head and how he said them and how he portrayed each character. It's, he will be missed. For sure. So.
Oh yeah. Even stuff he did with Dead and turned him into the monster at the end.
He was in Twister.
Yeah.
So
Twister, Titanic.
That was a big role for him.
It was cool. He's awesome.
So besides Gary Busey's character, who else did you guys like just wish got killed off?
Oh man.
Well, I guess I like that El Scorpion guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But like, it would have been cool to see him go at it with King Willie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't like each character. They both were, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Would have been a cool duel,
Yeah.
Or the three of them, and like with Predator in the mix, those three fighting each other would have been kind of cool.
Predator is so good and versatile that he could have fought any of them. I mean, look at movies like Predators when he's ninja fighting in the middle of a field.
Yeah,
which is one of my favorite scenes in any.
Which he took it in that. Did he?
Yeah, I think they both died in that scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just so cool that he can adapt to like, I can be in the jungle, I can be in the fucking city,
Yeah.
I can be in the middle of the field, wherever there's heat,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Heat and war.
Yeah,
I'm there.
It's cool.
No, I would. The King Willie and El Scorpio, although El Scorpion, he died, pretty early, but
Yeah.
I would have liked to see King Willie die a little early too.
Yeah.
Just they kept talking about him, and then he finally shows up, and it's, I don't know, it's just a creepy dude in an alley to me, but.
There's too many creepy dudes in alleys in horror movies.
What's with LA? I don't get it.
I'm never going. I don't know. I've thought time and time again. I've always liked when like your lead character or one of your lead characters goes early in the movie or unexpectedly in a movie. Like in the new Strangers Pray at Night, when another spoiler on another movie, but when the mom goes, it's pretty damn early.
Yeah.
And the dad goes.
Yeah.
It's still pretty early. And, now it's 3-on-2. I always thought it'd be cool if, like, maybe Danny Glover didn't necessarily die, but got laid up, like Gary Oldman in The Dark Knight Rises. Like, the whole movie's laid up.
He's in some hospital.
Yeah. It would be cool if, he was maybe injured or he was enabled a little bit more or a little bit worse than he was. I mean, he was fucked up. He was jumping through apartment buildings.
Well, Yeah. Well, it's a good point. Danny or Leona do things on their own.
Right.
He was preaching to Bill Packard. He split off and look what happens. Bill, you get your spine ripped out. I guess Leona was saved because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the baby,
dead.
So I don't know. Maybe Harrigan's not that great of a leader after all.
Yeah.
They don't listen to him.
What I really liked too is when the Predator would kill people in this movie, then they really only show it once. When he's buffing their heads, he's kind of like sanding their skulls down for display, and then later you get to kind of see inside the ship, inside his lair, and how they roll. And Danny Glover's looking around like it's a fucking house of mirrors.
Yeah. They add more to this Predator.
Yeah,
he's got like a first aid kit on him.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Well, and he even looks different. Like his face has like a red and yellow tint to it.
Yeah, totally.
But I guess he had a first aid kit in the first one, but this thing's like more advanced. I mean, he's clearing. He's cleaning. Like when his arm was completely sliced off.
I love that scene too because it kind of brings a little bit more comedy than the first Predator did.
With the old lady?
When the old lady, like, somebody's in the bathroom, and she comes with the broom, like, what the fuck are you going to do? And then he just slams through her door and runs out, and then Danny Glover comes in and chases him through, and they just ruin downtown LA living.
Would have been funny if Ted from Billy Madison showed, "Don't put it out with your boobs, Ted." And the Predator's right there.
Oh, shit. But, yeah, that was really cool to me, just like, he was ripping out spines in the first one, but you didn't know why. Like now you find out, like he's putting them on display, and like
he's a hunter. This is a collection.
He writes dirty with spines,
right?
Spines and skulls.
What do you think, by the way, of the xenomorph skull in there? Is that like a shot at like bringing it?
And that's so cool because they ended up doing the AVPs and the AVP Requiem, and which were really good movies too. and they get a lot of beef. It's like same with the Freddy versus Jason. Well, who won? Well, was it more Predator-like or more Alien-like? Like, who the fuck cares? It was cool that they were able to bring them together and give us like something. They've done that in horror, not often.
I think Predator 2, you know, and that I think that's why it sticks out more from other sequels is like that scene alone opened up a door for video games and comics and, you know, other movies, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of what Predator, you know, almost like at the end of Jason when Jason goes to hell when Freddy's glove comes up and, you know, swipes Jason's mask away. It's like, oh man, you just opened a whole door. You know,
Pandora doesn't go back in the box.
right. So.
There was another cool crossover back in way before anyone's time here when Frankenstein met Abbott and Costello. That was pretty cool.
That was like the first one ever, I guess.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of matchups, that's one thing I would like to see more of. Some matchup movies.
Yeah. Who would you like to see?
Yeah. Well,
honestly, I say this all the time: Michael versus Jason. And let's say here's my little setup for it is somehow Michael always knows where Laurie Strode is. So say she's going on a little trip. She goes to Camp Crystal Lake. But I want to say, like, say she sees Jason killing somebody, right? And she thinks it's Michael. So she's yelling, you know, Michael, Michael, Michael. And Jason's thinking, who the fuck is Michael? So he ain't paying her no damn mind. And he eventually, like, looks up and goes towards her. And as he's going towards her, lightning strikes. You see Michael Myers' mask, and he's going towards Jason. Somehow they just fight.
That would be cool.
As fuck.
That would be like super brutal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, neither of them are human. I guess Michael's never really died, you know, but every time Jason does, it comes back. So I don't know, man. They would beat the shit out of each other.
I don't know. I'm baffled. I'm flabbergasted. I want to see it.
Yeah, me too.
What do you think about the new Halloween trailer that came out? What are your opinion on the new Halloween?
I actually kind of I enjoyed it. I'm expecting a lot out of this movie just from that, but at the same time, I know I shouldn't be because they always mess something up, get you all hyped for nothing. You know, show you the best stuff in the trailers, and then the movie's just kind of down.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this one.
I don't know how I feel about it, man. I'm being real with you right now, Sturdy. I just don't know. When the fuck did he learn to flip a knife around like he's a ninja?
Hey.
Well, what's weird is that the whole, you know, if they negate that, you know, they were ever siblings, it really kind of takes away from all the other movies.
You're changing my childhood.
Oh, they definitely are.
You know that Carpenter's he has something up his sleeve.
I mean, I'm sure.
I'm sure that I don't know though. I obviously we're still gonna go watch it. So
I'll be there opening night.
Maybe all of this is just a mess with us and has nothing to do with any other thing.
I did like the teeth. The teeth
that was
over
awesome.
the bathroom stall. That was pretty cool.
That was freaking awesome.
Mike dropped her with teeth.
That was kind of a powerful scene.
Yeah, it was cool
because they're almost like not to take anything away from John Carpenter, but he's almost kind of like. Okay, I like how Rob did this whole brutal Michael Myers thing, like the teeth over the stalls, very Rob Zombie.
I love Rob Zombie's Halloweens.
Yeah,
I love them both. I like anything Rob Zombie does.
Wow,
he's pretty fantastic.
He gets a lot of heat, and I don't know why. He should be involved in a Predator. Shane Black and him should do something.
That'd be cool.
That would be interesting.
It'd probably take place in the 70s.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know,
it'd be super gory.
His wife's definitely in the movie.
Oh yeah, Sherry Moon's gonna be there. Jeff Daniel Phillips.
I thought of a cool matchup. Because we were talking about with Michael and Jason.
Yeah.
Like, what if you had like the Firefly family and the Hewitt family?
Oh, dude, that'd be
it was
awesome.
like they
would be nuts.
Yeah.
Because you have crossover franchises. Bill Moseley was Chop Top and Texas Chainsaw 2.
Yeah. How do you even do?
And he's Otis Driftwood. Oh God. He's so cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be interesting.
It'd be brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think they could like meet and not want to kill each other. Like how do you? It's like Walmart taking out Costco. You know, it's like two of the greats, the greatest ever.
Yeah, you can tell, and Rob Zombie gets a lot of his characters and idea from a guy like Toby Hooper. The Firefly family is very similar to the Hewitts and the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. It's all kind of grindy.
In The Devil's Rejects, Otis puts one of the banjo guys' face on.
Yeah.
Just like Leatherface. So, I mean, that's a huge shout out, I thought.
It'd be a cool crossover. Like, Leatherface heard about it or something. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Are these two? What is going on?
Yeah. I always
Texas? Not in Texas.
not in the Star State.
Right.
I always thought it would be cool to do, because everyone says, like, Chucky and Leprechaun just because they're both kind of short. And, like, yeah, that'd be cool, but how cool would it be to do, like, a Puppet Master and Master or something.
Something else magical.
Yeah, where they can be doing spells and disappearing on the spot and changing forms and whatnot, throwing their voice. Do like a bunch of toys. They're coming out with a new Puppet Master movie.
Are they?
And it looks really cool. I think it's supposed to be out later this year.
You've always liked the Puppet Master.
I do, man. Something about like your toys being able to come get you. Even in Toy Story, they did. They just weren't as violent. They were raised in nicer neighborhoods.
Well, Sid's toys were violent. Okay, that kid's got
Well,
problems.
Sid was fucked up.
So.
Puppet Master. That's who doesn't like those movies? They're so freaking fun.
Oh yeah,
funny.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Toulon with his little what was it? Green, like a green goo he put in the toys to make them come alive.
Yeah, it was some kind of like Secret of the Ooze ripoff from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, that was cool though. It was fun. Like I liked it. I wish it was more brutal, a lot more violent for those toys. And I like that matchup, them versus demonic toys. They did one, but it wasn't all that. It was weird. It wasn't all that great.
I didn't know they invented that way. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I watched it maybe like last year. It wasn't. I don't know. It was just too. Corey Feldman was in it, so that kind of hurt it. His acting was.
Young Jarvis.
Oh man.
His acting was, it wasn't up to par. I'll say that. It's like he overacted in that movie.
Oh, Corey Feldman? No way, dude.
The Frog Brother himself does no wrong.
My goodness. So, trying to think what else I can. You guys got any questions?
How long have you been doing this podcast, man? We've checked you out since we've got to know each other a little bit, and we dig your stuff. How long have you been on it?
I appreciate it. I honestly just started in January.
Cool.
Like I wanted to start sooner, but I was, I couldn't hang out with somebody to record with them every weekend, because we're all adults and stuff, which sucks. But so
yeah,
I was talking about doing one for about a year or so, and I just built a Facebook page and all that. Then eventually got an Instagram and I was like, I need to just start recording, talking about movies with other horror fans and random horror talk.
Cool, man. Well, it's awesome, man.
Thank you.
What movie, you had kind of asked us, what movie, what kind of got you into horror as a kid in that sense? Like, what was it that pushed you towards all this stuff? It looks like Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Definitely one of them. But, like, just following, like, my older brother around and my older cousins, like, when you're the youngest one in the room, you want to be as cool as the older kids. So they were all into horror, so I try to watch them, and a few I got through. I'll tell you the one that really scared the shit out of me, damn near literally, was Creep Show Part 2, The Hitchhiker. Why? I have no idea to this day why it scared me so much. But, because,
It is scary.
There are hitchhikers.
Yeah.
People do shit.
That is very true. But as a kid, you don't think like that. You're just like, this is scary.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Absolutely.
I was so scared of that movie that when I had to use the bathroom, I would ask them to come to the bathroom with me and like wait outside the door. I was scared to go to the bathroom for that night.
Oh my gosh.
But ever since then, it was just like I liked it more and more. And then Jason became my favorite, I think, because I seen it so much, and I think that's the main thing. It was like one of the first ones that I seen that I kind of just watched the whole series of.
He's that kind of character where, like, as terrified of Jason you might be, like, you still want to see the other movies and like, how does this dude keep coming back? Are you kidding me? He survived this and now they're doing another one. Oh my gosh! And this one he's possessing people. Like at some point with Jason, you're like, what can this dude not do? Like, I give up. I just want to watch him kill people.
He can never die. That's what he does.
That's
He's
right.
fucking awesome. I like in the Friday 13th, like they show him come back. He doesn't just like show up. In some cases they just show up. In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they just show up. They're there. We're in Texas. You come through Texas, you're bound to get fucked with. This, he's like, you'll see his organs fill up with blood and his heart start pumping and his lungs inflating and deflating. It is a really cool way to show a horror villain that popular come back.
Yeah, time and time again, come back, and in different ways.
Yeah.
I think the most ridiculous one, I can't remember which number it is, but it's where he has the chain on his neck.
Oh, yeah.
She has that telekinesis and like accidentally, gets him out of the lake. I was just like, of course you would do that.
Telekinesis is powerful. Look at Carrie.
You have this crazy ability, and then you go wake up with this evil.
Oh man.
I think my favorite comeback of his though was Jason Lives. It was very Frankensteinish with the lightning and stuff. Like that, so.
Yeah, that was Jason Lives. That was a good comeback. I would have felt like an asshole waking him up again. Like, he's already buried. You've seen what he can do, and you got him up again. But I think out of that series, the most ridiculous one is when they brought him to space. I don't know whose idea that was, but you got to fire that person.
A lot of people went to space, though, man. The Leprechaun went to space.
Hellraiser, Pinhead went to space.
The Cenobites were in space.
I don't know. I guess it's the thing to do, but
Freddy never went to space.
As bad as Jason X, that's true. That's true.
He did dress up. Oh, that'd be a cool way to fucking bring that back.
Hell yeah. Space Marine style. All of a sudden, it's like Aliens 2 clashes with Freddy.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
But I think that it was the thing to do. Jason X, as goofy as it was, the kills were great. I guess.
Oh, dude, it was a good movie.
I mean, I know it's probably one of the in that franchise, probably one of the worst. But some of the best kills, like him freezing that girl's face and then slamming it on the counter.
Yes,
awesome.
Although I asked my son, he's 7, he loves Jason, and I'm like, "What's your favorite Jason kill?" He's like, "Jason X." Wow. He's like, it's when he smashes that girl on the top of the counter. So,
favorite kill from Jason.
He's awesome. And the game. This one, I know it's Mrs. Voorhees, Pamela herself, but Kevin Bacon with the arrow through the neck, the way that arrow pokes up through his jugular and like stretches the skin, always got me.
That's an awesome kill.
Yeah, it is.
If I had to pick one, okay, I got 2. Sorry, but there's the first Jason kill. I think with I can't remember it, Arnie. When he comes out of the water and drags her down, which I guess that's technically not a kill because you find out later it's a dream.
Yeah.
But I'd say either that one or something newer with Derek Mears when he slams that guy on the back of the truck.
Oh,
as the truck's driving away and he slams that,
the real preppy kid
character, yeah.
That guy was another one of those guys, like a Gary Busey in Predator 2. Like, you wanted him to die.
Yes.
You knew he was gonna die.
Yes.
But it was like, come on. Like, it's one of the funniest parts about that movie is him and how big of a douchebag he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't let them party in the house that he brought them to. He's getting pissed because they're playing beer pong.
Yeah.
Trying to fuck, like a typical prep.
Yeah.
Definitely a mod.
But his death was brutal, and like it happens so quick, and then he's driving away. They're driving away, and he's being dragged away, and you're just like, oh my god, now it's just these two. Good luck.
What happens when that dude on the truck that got the fuck out of Dodge stops and sees that dude on the back of his truck
Yeah.
mounted like a goddamn.
What would you
moose.
do? I guess you just like knock it off.
You knock it off and spray it, and you go.
Act like you've seen nothing.
Right. It was a deer. I backed up into a deer.
Giant naked deer is crazy.
He was wearing a plaid shirt.
My favorite Jason kill, I think, was from the remake, the sleeping bag kill over the campfire.
Oh, right in the beginning.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, she's being cooked in the. When she falls out, and then she has that smoke rolling out of her mouth.
Yeah, and that whole scene, like her boyfriend runs to see her and gets caught in a bear trap, and you can see it scraping against its bone.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is really good. He did As Above, So Below shortly after Killer Cut, and was really good in that too, and had a real powerful, kind of twist to his story.
Yeah,
the whole movie was fucking twisted. It was awesome.
Right. So, cool. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a really good kill.
Oh man, I don't even know if that's my favorite kill, but it was definitely a good one. Did you guys see Terrifier?
Yes.
Very good. I loved that freaking movie. I think I gave that movie like a 9. I didn't do a podcast on it, but in my mind, I was like, that movie's like a 9.5 to me because it was just so gory and brutal. Kind of reminded me of Jason with a mix of Freddy in it because the goofiness of him.
Yeah, kind of taunts and puppeteers them.
There are some kills in that movie that
Art the Clown is fucked up.
Yes.
the man-o'-lantern, when he makes that face, that dude's skull into like a jack-o'-lantern, that's pretty messed up.
That girl that's chained and gets like cut in half almost, but he leaves a little bit of her together.
I don't know, it legit scared me though. Like there were some scenes where, because a lot of slashers don't anymore. I watch slashers because I have fun watching them, but this was a slasher that actually like kind of, if I was in that situation, I'd be throwing up all over myself. I'd be freaking terrified.
And his face that he was able to do with his smile and show all his teeth and his black ass gums, it was gross. Like that's part of the scare, I think, with people like Leatherface and the Hewitt family is it's just fucking gross. Like they got bones laying all over the place, and this dude's got like a bag of weapons he carries around. He's just staring at them, eyeing them in the diner right before he gets them.
Yeah, I love the setting in the movie. Like the fact it took place in this crazy, I guess broke down apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was crazy. They were crawling in and out of closets. And there's a thing that stuck with me was when he has this girl pinned to the ground and he unloads a clip in her face. And they show it. And it was just something, I don't know if it was seeing it or if it was just the idea that he completely unloaded this gun in this girl's face. Like there's no, if you come across this guy, you're dead.
Yeah.
I love that part of it. People hated it because, most slashers, the guys, they never use guns and he did. And the reason I enjoyed it so much was because he broke the rules, so to speak, and he would kill at any means. And then, like, if you see his face after that kill, he didn't look happy about that kill. Like, he was like, he looked real disappointed, like, fuck, I shot her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally a scene, it was something where he was disappointed in himself, like I could have done better, but she got to me. Mm-hmm. She pissed me off enough to where I had to unload this clip in her face, and she got the best of me. I wanted to kill her slow, my way.
On to the next.
So like with that scene, you're kind of like, oh my, this guy, I don't know. It was the last movie I felt scared watching.
Mm-hmm.
Which. And then there's the whole end, but somehow after everything he's been through, he comes back.
Right.
And I guess, the process of everything and, the light flickering, it's just like, is this guy human? It was almost like a Michael Myers type feel. Like, is he the boogeyman? Is he human? Because he sure doesn't make human decisions.
Yeah.
So
the mystery behind that kind of shit is what makes those movies good. Slashers in particular. Like, I don't know what he is. We think he's a guy who's dressed as a clown, but is he? I don't fucking know. All I know is I better fucking run.
It's crazy too. Like society is starting to gear their fears towards clown, and I don't know if it was it. I don't know if it was like the success of that. I mean, I know that clowns have been around for a while, but it seems like the last 5 years clowns are a much bigger deal than they've ever been.
I mean, you got the remake, it like you just said. You got Captain Spaulding. You got Art the Clown.
Yeah.
They're re-releasing Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Which is
or I'm sorry, they're thinking of making a TV show with Killer Clowns. You know, they have been popular for a long time. I think it's the YouTube effect. Is people see these clowns and then they dress up. Like there's so many videos of people dressing up like clowns with huge hammers and running at people through grocery store parking lots, and it's fucking hilarious. But
yeah, even on Instagram, people do like clown makeup editorials.
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of thought clowns were scary and cool. And there's a local haunted house here in St. Louis called The Darkness that does, which is the shit. If you're ever in St. Louis. And around Halloween, go to The Darkness. It's really scary. It's really fun. But they have a whole 3D clown walkthrough.
Wow.
Where you put on 3D glasses and walk through. Like, you do the haunted house, you go through a sheet, they stop you, so your adrenaline's going, and they make you wait, and then you gotta go face all these fucking clowns, and it's fucking scary.
Yeah, I've always been afraid of clowns dressing as clowns.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was, I'm not sure the areas and what they were happening, but people's like I keep spotting this clown all over the place. I thought it was San Francisco, but
I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it.
So there was all this stuff, and it was just, it's cool. Like it seemed like this It remake came at the right time, and then you have something like Terrifier that's just like
yeah. And who Art the Clown's been around for a little bit, but since they decided to do his own thing, he really made an impact on it.
Yeah, because we've never seen I don't know if you have, but the
All Hallows
Eve movies. Apparently, I guess there's movies before that feature art.
Yeah, there were two. One was All Hallows Eve, and there was another one, and this is the third in the trilogy. And you're saying, which I didn't realize until I saw Terrifier.
Started looking stuff up about it.
As soon as I find them, they will get watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I seen the All Hallows Eve one. It wasn't bad. Art's presence was strong in it though, and I guess from what I heard or read about it, people liked Art so much that they just wanted to do his own movie, and as we've seen, it was very successful. Freaking awesome movie.
Oh, absolutely. I hope that, I think it was a good step for slashers. Slashers sometimes take a beating. I think people are super particular about slashers. If you're a slasher fan, you're very particular about and you want to see and what you don't want to see. But I think that Terrifier was something for everyone to kind of enjoy. It was different, and they definitely kind of broke ground with it.
Put you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, so I hope they kind of continue. I wasn't upset with Strangers Prey at Night either.
No, a lot of people hated it. And I thought it was cool. A lot of people were like, if you want to be an 80s movie, then be an 80s movie. It's a good movie. I care what anyone says.
I had a lot of questions at the end, but I did at the end of
you don't know, and that's why you're so attracted to it.
Yeah.
The unknown is sometimes richer than the known.
I just recently watched that one too. That was a lot better than I expected, actually. I know it took them a long freaking time to make it, but it was good.
I thought the kills in it were exceptional. I thought the villains were you almost felt especially after certain villains started to go, you're almost like, oh man, it's starting to get evened up here.
Yeah.
And then so you find yourself that you ask yourself, well, who am I pulling for? Because these villains are so cool,
right,
and cold and calm and collected, and organized. It's just these guys are freaking cool.
No, everything's very strategic.
Yeah. So I thought it was good. I like soundtracks like that. And
I do too.
It kind of gives the movie a certain feel. I thought it was.
Rob Zombie does it in all his movies with his.
It was an over-the-top slasher movie, and you just sit and enjoy it. If you try to make it something else, obviously you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes horror movies get way too critiqued, and it's a horror movie. People are going to die. Part of the fun way is finding out how, and don't like it, you shouldn't be watching horror movies.
Right.
It's the same in sci-fi horror, like Predator or Alien. It's the same way in your classic slashers like Freddy, Michael, Jason, Leatherface, Chucky. Um, although and the possession and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's just have fun with horror movies. They're not going to be on your Oscar TV show.
Yeah. I think if you go into most horror movies open-minded, you walk
that's
ahead.
all.
I think it's just when you expect it to be something else, you're going to be let down. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good movie.
Horror fans are kind of like comic fans. I feel like they're almost the way Marvel fans are and how hard they are on some of their movies.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes horror fans can be like that, and I'm even like that. We watched the Halloween trailer and we're like, wait a second,
Laurie Strode is a Strode.
Really, we just need to shut up and watch it.
Yeah. Still, whatever.
I'm hoping this Halloween movie, though, I'm hoping it's great for one, because I'm a huge horror fan. I'm hoping it's great for another reason, just so they can bring back, maybe they'll do a few more classic slashers.
Do another Nightmare on Elm Street. Just do it.
If you
do a prequel.
If you do a Nightmare on Elm Street, who do you cast as Freddy? Because Roberts, he said he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and he said Kevin Bacon, which I could see because he can get skinny and gangly and look burned up.
Yeah.
You said Richard Brake. Right?
I like Richard Brake. The lighter side of it. Kind of bring because the new one was so rapey.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And it was and Nightmare on Elm Street, like I think what made it so big was like you were scared, but you had a lot of fun watching those movies. And that movie was too serious. Freddy is funny, and he has these like one-liners. I think Richard Brake could pull something like that.
The new Nightmare on Elm Street was really good for the kids that were in it. Jackie Earle Haley was the burned up guy. That wasn't Freddy Krueger.
Right.
That was a burned up ass Jackie Earle Haley. And I really liked him as like Rorschach and The Watchmen and some other stuff he's done. But he was very monotone, even when he screamed a little bit and was like yelling at the kids. It was very Dark Knight-ish. Like, where is he? And which is cool to an extent, but like Freddy only got pissed when something went wrong. This guy was pissed for no reason. The first fucking kill in the movie is not with Freddy's glove. That was a huge problem for me. I'm a diehard Freddy fan, as you can see.
That's awesome, sure.
No big deal. So the fact that the first kill was with a knife and they show the kid cutting his own throat, it was cool to see. Like visually, it was very cool. You could hear the knife scraping against his fucking spinal cords. But he should have got a slash down the chest or something. Like in the original Nightmare with Tina, getting thrown around the room, there was blood everywhere. That's one of the bloodiest scenes in that whole series, if not in horror. Not to be shortchanged by Johnny Depp's death scene later in that movie, where there's, I think they said like 160 gallons of blood or some shit like that.
That's awesome.
Crazy amounts of blood. Was it that Robert Englund was so good and it was hard to compare, or was it that Jackie Earle Haley just kind of fell short?
I think Jackie Earle Haley. It's like the same thing when bands try to remake songs. It's like, hey, I don't want you to change the song, but make it your own.
Yeah.
Jackie Earle Haley kind of did that. He didn't change it, but it was too Jackie Earle Haley, and there was no comedy in it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to like be belly laughing, but like I'm your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend now. It's like that. That was a classic line.
Yeah.
Jackie Earle Haley's not saying that.
Right.
So you
sounds fun. Like you saying shit like that. Like he sounds like Homer Simpson. Get to do some donuts. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe bring Richard Brake in.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I think Richard Brake could pull it off.
Who would play Nancy?
I think another reason that movie got so much hate too was just the look. The look of Freddy is what really hurt.
Yeah.
Killed it for me. The story to me was good, minus the whole child rape thing. But other than that, the story was good. But I think just the look of him was just like, fuck, that's not Robert. Fuck this movie.
Yeah. I think it was hard to let go, like growing up with those movies and being my favorite movies in horror. It was definitely bittersweet to see that. Cool, they're making more, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? Killer Cut with Friday the 13th was fantastic. I'm expecting a lot out of the new Predator movie that Shane Black's doing. That comes out in September.
Yeah,
I
they have
think
like a
that's gonna be
super
awesome.
Predator.
But yeah, I really liked Prometheus and Alien Covenant. And a lot of people didn't, but I thought they hit it on the head.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'm the same. Like the way I look at it is, it's Ridley Scott's story. If this is the direction Ridley Scott wants to go in, whatever, man, I'm buckled in.
Yeah.
Okay, you had me at Alien, so
Right.
I'm watching. I'm riding with you. So I thought Covenant was cool. I thought Prometheus was really well done.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Showed what we are and why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I think that it's good to continue, loved characters like that, and everyone can be like, oh, it's about the money. Well, not if you get someone that genuinely loves the story, I think they can do it right. So it's more about, I guess, who directs it. And stuff like that.
So yeah.
I like that. I got another one for you. This just came up to me. Let's say there was a team up movie and it was Alien and Predator versus who would you guys like to see that matchup? Alien and Predator versus who?
Oh man, Alien and Predator versus. God, I'm speechless.
I think it'd be kind of maybe like if you did like an Alien Predator versus the Thing.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool because the Thing would try to mimic.
Yeah.
And copycat their DNA. So you'd have this kind of deformed, crazy looking xenomorph or crazy looking predator. Especially if it got a hold of one of them. So the Thing would somewhat take on whatever shape that
that'd be cool.
it devoured. And then you'd have this really cool, Queen Alien versus the Thing Predator mix, or
with graboids.
Oh, stop it! That would be cool.
Hell yeah, man! Just monsters versus monsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be awesome because I bet the alien could burrow under and get through. They're crawling through tunnels and ships.
Yeah.
And the desert, whether they're in the desert with the graboids or the Antarctica with the Thing.
Yeah.
The graboids more. That'd be cool. Who would you want to see?
I would have to. This would be a random, funny, fun one. Leprechaun and Chucky.
Yeah, little versus big.
It'd be weird. It'd be funny, but I think from the last Chucky movie, how he can somehow possess dolls and humans and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
So he'd have that crazy army, and then you have Leprechaun's just crazy. Say somehow the Alien and Predator, maybe they take his gold and they're trying to make a really strong weapon out of it. If you take his gold, he's going after you. And Chucky's Chucky. He just likes to kill.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. I didn't think of the little Chucky army. That new one was cool though. I liked it.
That Chucky series is so good.
All the movies in the Chucky series.
If the worst Chucky movie in that series is Seed of Chucky, then that is an extremely successful franchise.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, everyone seems to like Chucky, but if you really think about it, because there's a lot of series out there, there's 2, maybe 3 good movies. Chucky has, I would say majority of those movies are really good.
Yeah, the first trilogy, if you want to say, the Child's Play movies before they went to
1, 2, and
Chucky,
3 were great.
They were great, man, and it was the same story. It made sense throughout. It didn't feel like you were watching a sequel. It felt like you were watching the next chapter. Much like how I imagine the new It movie will be with the adults this time. It's not going to feel like a different movie. It's just going to feel like a new chapter.
Right.
Like you're reading a book. It's a very cool series.
But and same with Leprechaun too. And it would be interesting that would be cool to see in a sense, they're both kind of magical because Chucky's got all the voodoo.
I really like the Leprechaun movies. They got a new one coming out.
Do they really?
Yeah, where they're bringing back more of your traditional Leprechaun, not like Leprechaun Origins, which Hornswoggle.
Did you like Origins?
I did like Oranges. I did like Origins, but it was different. It wasn't your classic Leprechaun in the Hood or Leprechaun in Vegas. Getting bubble gum and 4-leaf clovers in your mouth.
Right.
It was a monster movie. But I like the Leprechauns. They got me got me a lot of cheap laughs back when I was a little kid. So it's funny.
No, Leprechaun was cool. I don't know. That'd be a really cool matchup, and that would be something where a guy like Don Mancini could just do because I mean he probably could just take the rights to both characters and do his own thing. Like let Don Mancini do it.
Yeah. I think he's doing a TV show now. I just read a couple days ago. They're going to do this Chucky TV series.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, man?
I mean, I'll
watch
movies. I'll watch it, but look at Scream. They did a really cool TV show for two seasons, and I think there's talks of doing a third one, but they're going to reboot it. And like, if you're only going to get 2 seasons out of it, just make 2 more movies.
Yeah. Yeah,
make 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Like why we got to go to where I got to watch a fucking Chucky show that's a half an hour, an hour long with 4 to 8 minutes of Chucky in it. I want to watch a movie where he's in it for 45 minutes.
But then you have shows like Ash vs. Evil Dead, which are spectacular.
That was the shit. Ash vs. Evil Dead was awesome. Total bummer. That guy canceled.
Yeah. But it sounds like Fede wants to do another Evil Dead.
I'd watch anything Fede Alvarez does.
I agree.
Between The Evil Dead and Don't Breathe, which I heard they're going to make a sequel to Don't Breathe as well. I don't know. Maybe she's still in his basement or something. But
she wakes up. She's still there.
Jane's just chained up.
He's got a big old baster stuck in it.
Oh, man. That movie was so good. Did you see Don't Breathe?
I did. That movie was fucked up.
It was. It was like, it should have been like a Scorsese movie with how it was written. It was so well put together, and like you didn't see what was coming. Like at first you just think it's like going to be a home invasion movie, and then you find out it's a murder mystery, and he's got this chick hanging up and impregnated, and it's crazy. And then you think she's gonna get away, and you find out the beginning was the end, and the end was the of horror. That's what Don't Breathe is. That guy was like Jack Nicholson, but blind.
Oh, I think Fede Alvarez has a lot of promise, though. If he wants to, he can make as many Evil Dead movies as he wants, man. That remake was really.
He's one of those up and coming directors, like I think he's at where Adam Green was at 3 or 4 years ago.
I love Adam Green.
Man. Like with Adam Green doing all the Hatchets and Victor Crowley, and how he broadcast. Himself as just like
I agree.
Going back to the Chucky series thing real quick, I'm in the middle about it. Like, it's either gonna be really good or like really bad. Like, why the fuck did I even watch this stupid shit?
Yeah.
And especially if you've been a horror fan. Sorry to cut you off. Especially if you've been a horror fan for a long time, you watch the whole Chucky series and then say the series is just shitty. Like, Chucky has to be brutal and funny at the same time, or it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. I think that's what out of it. It's like I'm excited about it, but at the same time, like I don't want to take any more dents.
Yeah, I mean, it's same with like the Exorcist TV show. Like I'm hesitant to start it. Like I've went to press play a bunch of times, and I'm like, man. The Exorcist movie, along with its sequels, are so good to me. They're like the best possession movies ever, in my opinion. And being from St. Louis, where it was based out of, adds a whole nother level to it. It's very cool. You can go to the hospital. You can go see where the hospital's cracked. You can go to the street that they lived on and see the house, Yeah. Everyone knows about The Exorcist. The whole fucking world knows about The Exorcist.
Oh, hell yeah. That TV series actually wasn't bad at all, though. I started it. My wife and I started it. I know we watched the first season, got into the second season, but it was actually pretty decent. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard it got canceled, so.
Okay. You know what was really good was the Wolf Creek show.
That Wolf Creek show was really good. Yeah.
I didn't see
Mick
that.
Taylor was back in it, back to do his role. Yeah. And it was really cool. Like it was like 6 episodes in the first season.
There's definitely been successful, and it's Ash vs. Evil Dead's a great example. Like I mean I thought it was great. It was successful. I just get worried. I guess Chucky to me, I mean that's a I don't know. It's a soft spot for me. I just don't want them to ruin the Chuckies for me. Not that they will. I mean, if Don Mancini has control of it, I trust Don.
I'm
man.
sure it'll be good. It's like the new Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
If
going
John
to be
Carpenter
good.
has anything to do with his own, it's his freaking story. He can do
Right.
whatever what he wants with it. You
Right.
know, he's earned that right.
Yeah.
So it's just we've already gone this far with it. We might as well go the rest of the way.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I remember when they had the rumors going, which was getting me excited. Speaking of horror series of Friday the 13th. Did you guys hear about that a couple years ago?
They had a show way back when in I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, and you can buy it now. It's like 45 episodes or something.
And it has nothing to do with Jason, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
not
it's
at
just
all.
about the campsite.
Yeah.
It's funny, another show I watched with my wife here and there was that show. And like, I think it's a family. They own like a shop and they're trying to get like all these figures or whatever you want to call them back because they have all these secret powers to somehow somebody gets killed by him and all that. So it's it's a pretty fun series. It has nothing to do with Jason though. So that I think that's what hurt the series, honestly.
Yeah.
Same thing with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Michael Myers wasn't in it at all. But if you watch it as a standalone, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as you think it's a regular Halloween movie.
No, it's a great movie.
I actually really like Halloween 3. It's just, like after watching it a couple times and just like now that I can go into it knowing that Michael Myers isn't going to pop up somewhere, like it's a really good movie.
I agree. And they do give the little shout out, the little news clip that Michael Myers is out, in the background.
Yeah.
So it's close enough to Haddonfield to where it's like, okay, I can totally buy into this. And the masks were cool, and the commercials for the masks were cool, and it was fun.
Yeah. But it's a good point. Like people sometimes get upset about that, and that's part of just going into things open minded. But it's just you get upset. Like they fall in love with these characters, and it's just like, wait a second.
Well, and there was
why are you putting this name on it?
Yeah, there was a Nightmare on Elm Street TV series that Freddy Krueger wasn't in much. I think he did like kind of a Tales from the Crypt.
He was like the host.
Thing, like where he would be dead and introduce the next clip or the next show or whatever, and it was the same thing. No, Freddy. No, dude, enjoy it.
Yeah,
I might have to check that one out right there.
It's cool.
So, trying to think of another. Give me 1 second. Okay. Have you guys ever been on any other podcasts, or are you guys really into podcasts?
Ooh, I love podcasts. We actually do a podcast on YouTube. It's more of like a video blog.
Okay.
You can find us on YouTube under the name The Nightmare Shop, and we do our own, and we got about 13, 14 episodes where we just...
It's a lot of top 10s, and and
nice.
I think we even have like top 10 weapons on there and stuff like that. So it's just we just kind of have fun with it, but we would like to do this a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's
we just like to talk about horror, and
that's our favorite thing to do is just to chop it up about horror movies and see what other people think about horror movies. Bring up stuff like cool crossovers that I haven't thought about that I wrote down when you weren't looking.
That's right. Look, as far as the horror thing goes, I feel like it's like a big horror family. So I just try to, let's just share this information, keep it growing, podcasts, movies, all that stuff, to get nice and popular again.
I think it's a big deal to I think that's something that horror does that other genres don't do. It's going to horror hounds and stuff like that. Like everyone's happy, man. Everyone's having a good. We haven't met anyone at a horror hound that was rude to us in any way. No. Tom Savini was great. And
very
Danielle
cool.
Harris is way smaller than you think, but she was nice as can be.
Put it right in your pocket.
But I don't know, that horror community's always been very open and cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like you said, a family. A lot of people in the horror fan industry, if you will, dive into horror because they got a lot of real shit going on in their lives. So like they kind of cling to this horror family and I know I'm definitely guilty of it. And that's how we became friends and how we opened up the Nightmare Shop. And, it's a part of us and it's part of our life now. And It always has been. It's just cool.
I couldn't tell you how many times I come home some nights like I gotta watch Hellraiser. Someone's got to take it tonight
Right.
because I had a freaking bad day.
Right.
So I need to watch someone get torn apart. You know.
I need Uncle Frank right now.
No, that's nice. That's awesome. I get that. I definitely get that. Even when I'm in a good mood, like, oh, I just want to go home and watch Jason just kill a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Because I could have a good day and I want to be like, dude, I want to watch people get swallowed up by the blob tonight.
Right.
I had such a good day. The only way to top it off is with the blob. So,
I'm gonna eat ice cream, watch the stuff, and make fun of them for their ice cream.
I think that's, I don't know, man. It's my drug of choice for sure. Horror is I love it so much I want to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
You know, so I surround myself in horror every day.
Definitely.
So, can you guys tell me more about your store?
Yeah, we can tell you everything about our store, man. We first of all, we're on Facebook, Instagram at the.nightmare.shop, Twitter at _nightmare_shop, our YouTube podcast, like we told you, and the video blog, where we also share a lot of cool clips and songs from horror movies. You just find us at the Nightmare Shop on YouTube and at our website, thenightmareshopllc.com, where you can find all our stuff we talked about today, such as Predator masks, toys, Alien, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Framed posters. We got framed Jason X poster with Kane Hodder signature.
Yeah.
I don't know, we stuff. We're like, no, this would be cool. There's no horror shop around here in St. Louis, and we want to kind of smear horror all over this town. And
yeah, definitely.
What a good better way to share it by selling horror merchandise.
Yeah, I mean we get
movies and
quality stuff from. We're hooked up with Trick or Treat Studios for all your masks. We go through NECA Toys for your action figures, so you know it's legit. And we're just trying to, like you said, man, spread horror and keep everyone together and keep it going, push it forward, and maybe we'll have our own Oscars one day.
Yeah, we deserve it. Or fuck our own Oscar. Let's have our own awards show. Horror definitely deserves it because there's so many with horror. There's so many different genres in horror. It's like, give us our own award show.
You know what? You freaking dude, you hit the nail on the head because a year like this year we had Shape of Water, and don't get me wrong, I saw Shape of Water. It was awesome. I love anything that Guillermo del Toro does, and it was really cool to see horror kind of take a place in all that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was giving shout outs to Lon Chaney and stuff like that. I don't know. It
Godfathers.
It was cool to finally be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
But we really do need our own show, and there should be best director.
iHorror does a good job with it.
iHorror does a really.
But it's a lot of online voting, and it'd be cool. Give me the bloody. Call it the bloody.
I mean, what are the two actors? I think Jack Nicholson won for The Shining, and I think Kathy Bates won for Misery, and that's it. I mean, and how many times?
Get Out was really popular. They got some awards. That was a great with that, and I think Jordan Peele is doing another horror movie. I don't know if it's a spinoff or related at all, but that was really cool because that was a huge impact on the cinema world when it came out just last year. 2017.
Yeah. It was I don't know, it was a good year for us, but it definitely brought to my attention. I was like, man, we really do need our own. Our own. If metal can have their own award show, why can't horror have their own? Man. So
it's cool.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Have Kane Hodder host the first one.
Oh yeah,
and he's funny. Yeah, that Kane Hodder could totally host it.
Oh, for sure.
Or a guy like Adam Green could help. There's so many people that could do some cool stuff.
Eli Roth hosted Shark Week. Why can't he host a freaking horror?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And people come back to it. People have fun doing it, and they come back. Someone like Danielle Harris, who's done multiple, she's done 4 Halloweens, and 2 of them, were Rob Zombies. So
yeah.
It's cool that they come back and do that stuff. You could easily do Lifetime Achievement Horror Award.
Yeah, you could, man.
So
be awesome. I mean, look at a guy like a Sid Haig, who's been doing movies for so long and is still about to be in new. I mean, he's going to be in Three from Hell.
Yeah.
He's been in all around his movies, or most of them.
Bone Tomahawk.
Dude, yeah, man. With David Arquette.
Yeah.
It was, you know, you could do things like that easily. It'd be cool. Yeah. We should trademark this shit right now.
Yes.
Post it. Post it somewhere. Post it in Salem.
Oh, cool. Nice. Go to Texarkana.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Who's your guys' favorite clown out of these horror movies? Mine right now is Art, just because, he makes me laugh with all the crazy faces, but he's silent at the same time, and then he's just fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt there. My favorite... I'll go.
Okay.
My favorite clown of all time is... Man, it's got to be the guy from Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he came alive, was possessed, and then the tree after that.
And he was in that clown was in the remake.
Yeah.
I don't know who directed the remake, but who was in the...
Sam
Rockwell.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell was the dad in it.
It was good.
I like that clown partially because he was in the remake, he was in the original, he was scary as shit. Another, back to the toy thing like we were talking about with Puppet Master and Chucky, demonic toys. Like, it's just scary to me. And the fact, if you've ever seen Scary Movie 2, the last one with the Wayans brothers, the only ones that are good are the first two. But that clown comes back in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And gets raped under the bed by Shawn Wayans. And it's just so funny that they flipped it. He's like, no, dude, I'm going to scare the clown. The Wayans brothers are fucking crazy. And those movies were hilarious. But, the fact that they could take something and make it funny, take something that was so scary and put that twist on, it was very cool to me.
I think my favorite clown goes to Captain Spaulding. Part of that, clowns are my fear, man. So I think part of it is I like Captain Spaulding. He makes me laugh. He's not quite as scary as like an Art or a Pennywise or something like that. But I'd go with Sid Haig, and if a close second would be that zombie clown from Zombieland.
Oh, yeah, when they're at the theme park.
Yeah, because the whole time I'm watching that movie, I'm like, there's going to be a freaking zombie clown. I know it. I know what's going to happen, and boom, shows up. So,
you know what clown I didn't really care for too much, or I don't think is that scary, is Twisty the clown from the American Horror Story. I dig the American Horror Story. The first season was very good. But I just didn't think he was that scary. He was crazy, but, he was twisted, as his name gave, but... I just don't think he didn't do it for me. He was kind of too over the top. Like, let's make this demonic-looking clown who has these little horn-like things or whatever the hell they are in the front. It just didn't scare me as much. And I know a lot of people are like batshit scared of it. I don't know, but I bet a lot of people aren't scared of a fucking doll.
Right. I really like another clown that I like is John Leguizamo, clown from Spawn.
Wow.
Oh,
good. Yeah, I mean he was perfect. And from what we were reading an article the other day, and they said that that he did the whole filming process on his knees.
Yeah, he was knelt down the whole time.
So I don't know. That clown was the Violator.
Yes.
That clown was creepy and was eating bugs on top of pizza.
Yeah.
That was a cool clown.
There's another movie, and help me with the name on this one, about a French clown. That's exactly what it is.
If you guys haven't checked that, you can check that movie out.
It's very good. It's all in French.
I think it's Spain.
Is it Spanish?
I think it's a Spanish.
Okay, cool.
And it's just about these two clowns. One kind of falls in love, and then he kind of scarifies his face up.
With the hot iron, and they show it. He puts one here, and in the front.
And he goes on this spree. It's awesome. It's super brutal. You got to read it, but midway through it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
It's mostly just watching it.
And
so
the crescendo at the end is just awesome. How they end it and duke it out.
Really
it's
cool.
very Beauty and the Beast.
The Last Circus.
Nice.
Check that out for sure.
Nice. Can you say that name one more time, please?
The Last Circus.
The Last Circus.
And
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool movie.
yeah.
I got another random clown to throw out there. I'll say the Joker from the Batman animated series was a very fucked up
Oh.
clown.
Mark Hamill.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's my
Yeah.
favorite Joker, hands down. But the
He-
laugh, the iconic, the look, everything was just it was great
The
with that.
stuff
And like
lift up his face.
and that cartoon was actually real violent, for us as kids. And like he really did try to kill Batman, something like that. He could
Yeah.
easily be in the horror genre.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
I love that WB Batman, and there were some episodes with him and Joker like there wasn't even much said. Like they were just
Yeah.
chasing each other around. Mark Hamill's voice was perfect.
Yeah.
And you're right that like that long purple suit, man. Like it I don't know. He had these like yellow teeth with black lips, and
Yeah.
it was cool, man. He was kind of creepy.
He's very macabre. Looking like he very peculiar features, and his smile was very sharp, and he was cutting edge. It was cool.
Yeah.
I agree. Very cool Joker.
Thank you, thank you. So, do you guys have anything else you want to say or plug before we wrap it up?
Thanks again for having us.
Absolutely,
Man.
this was fun, man.
Yeah, man.
We'd like to do this again.
Yeah.
Whenever you can, and but this was a lot of fun. I've never done anything like this.
Yeah,
so.
it was very cool. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for being on. And like I said, anytime when this video ends, we can talk for a minute, or hit me up on Instagram and let me know when you guys are free. I'm down to record
Hell yeah,
cool.
man.
Awesome.
whenever and whatever.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, man. That sounds like a plan.
And I really appreciate you guys jumping on. It was really fun, really fun.
Hell yeah,
Good,
man.
good, good.
It's cool to connect
Cool.
with some horror fans.
Hell yeah, man. We gotta keep it alive.
Do you guys want to plug your social medias and store again?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
All right, so we're on Facebook and Instagram at the.nightmare.shop. We're on Twitter at _nightmare_shop, Pinterest, the Nightmare Shop LLC, YouTube, the Nightmare Shop, and then we have our site in which you can get a lot of the merchandise is www.thenightmareshopllc.com.
If you go to our site, you can watch our YouTube vlogs from the site. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We share, our sales and our specials of the month on there.
We've got a couple cool blogs too with Castle Freak
Castle
and
Freak,
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage, yeah, man. So definitely check those out, and we appreciate all the love. Follow, like, share, engage, hit us up. We'd love to talk with anyone and everyone about horror.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. And yeah, guys, definitely hit these guys up. They're awesome. I showed them my link to my podcast, and they right away. So definitely check these guys out.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
And
Right on, man. Well, thank you, Sturdy.
very welcome. And like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come on this show again. And thanks again. I appreciate it 100% for you guys coming on.
Definitely.
No, thanks for having us.
And I guess I'll wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, I'll see you in your nightmares.